Alright, welcome everybody. Just checking stream stuff at the moment. Let's see, that's not doing what I wanted to do. Can I not turn this so that I can see it full screen? No? Okay, well, I guess I just gotta view it like that. Okay, so as per usual here on our stream, I don't know what's happening or why it doesn't like when I have browser windows open. I don't have anything else open. I don't have Illustrator. I don't have Canva. All I have is Safari open, and for some reason it's eating a lot of the resources, and it's causing the stream to look like it's slowing down on my side of things, but it doesn't look like it's slowing down on your side of things, which is interesting. Annoying. It's annoying is what it is, because I want to be able to monitor the stream correctly, but I can't do that if the video part of it's going to be poopies. So I don't know quite. I don't know what else I can do to this system to make it work more efficiently or work better. This OS is still causing so much trouble. I don't understand why we went from the last operating system to this one, and why so many things just failed and broke. Ugh. It's poopy. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Okay, so today, welcome everybody. Now that I've done my rant and raving about Mac OS being poopies, today we're going to work on, we finally have ISBN and barcodes, so I'm going to try something new with the stream here with the publishing part. We're actually going to go over into Boker here, Boker website. This is where you can buy your ISBNs and barcodes. And I'm going to try to work on this on stream without giving away all of my private details. So I think I've got a plan put together for it, but at the same time, you never know when something's going to pop up randomly, miscellaneously. I don't know. We'll see. We're experimenting with that today. Is the idea and the plan. So that's why I just started here on the Stitch Tales website. Just something easy without having that Boker's identifiers right up on the screen. So if you don't know, hello, my name is Tahoe Anime. Welcome in. I am a, how do I want to put this? Illustrator, author. I always put illustrator first rather than author first, because I feel like I'm an illustrator first. But working on children's picture books. I'm currently on book 3 in my Stitch Tales series. It's about the cats and dogs that have come in and out of my house over the years, and the adventures that they go on while they're here. They're little, I don't want to say micro stories, they're little stories that actually developed over the years. While my kids were growing up, they would ask us questions about them. And I would just make up these silly little stories. Me and the Mrs. Tahoe, also known as Dreamer. We'd make up these stories, these fantastical stories about questions that they had or things that were going on in the house. And one day I was just like, I should develop those into a picture book series. Being an artist all my life, was like, that sounds like a great idea. I should do that. So that's what I've been working on for the past. We're on what year? We're on year 3 now. We're in year 3. Let's see. Yeah. Well, it's 2026, so technically 2, but I started I started working on book 1 in 2023. So yeah, we're on year 3 here. We're getting ready to publish book number 3, so we're moving right along here. So part of this process over this past year was developing, I guess, how do I put this? Developing this Twitch channel into a place where not only am I going to work on a lot of this stuff. If you've been here for the past few months, I've been working on the illustrations for book 3, all of the pages and stuff like that. Getting all of the stuff put together so that we can get to our publishing date, our release date later in the year here. All fun, good stuff, artwork constantly. Some days we do other stuff like putting together social media posts and things like that. Kind of like the one rolling up in the right-hand corner of our video right now, which is my like weekly blog post / update progress video. It's like a 60-second video I put together every week and I put out on Thursdays, just kind of as these are cool things that I like, or this is where we are in the process, or things like that. So if you would like to follow along on social media and see how the process is going with my book project, that's a good way to follow that. Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, any of those places. Patches is watching anime. I heard him yelling in the background. I don't know what he's doing quite yet, but I don't think he's in his spot. I can look real quick. Nope, he's not in his little spot. But thank you, Sunny, for putting in your points for watching the stream and putting those towards our treat for Patch. Appreciate that. Oh, I mean buttons. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of put it together as this week's video was about anime, but it was like, oh, how can I do something interesting with that? And I was like, oh, I'll put it from the perspective of my character and I watching these shows together, which, is actually semi-true. Buttons used to hang out with me and play games while I was playing games, or he would watch shows with me and stuff like that. He's my little guy. So this is kind of like I thought about trying to do some kind of like ranking on all of these, but I love all of these shows a lot. So I was like, I would just give all of them 5 stars. So like, it doesn't matter. It didn't make much sense. So I was just like, oh, I'll just give like a 1-sentence mini reviews on some of the series and stuff like that. Kind of. But it was just kind of a feel-good post we worked on Wednesday here on stream. Just kind of some of the shows that I'm watching now. Some of the ones I finished up on the last season that I really, really enjoyed. Some that surprised me, some that were recommended to me. Free run continuation into season 2 here. Really good stuff. Sentenced to be Hero. This one was an interesting one because this is one that my daughter brought to me, and she's just like, hey Dad, I started watching this one, you definitely need to watch this. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out, I'll see what it's about. I'll watch the first episode, which is an hour long, and I got like partway through and I was like, oh, this is pretty fucked up, I like it. It's right up both of our alleys. Thank you, daughter. So that was a good one. That one's a continuation. That one's currently going right now. So, and then this was actually another recommendation of hers that she told Mrs. Tahoe about. She's like, Mom, I think you would really like this one. So, Mrs. Tahoe and I sat down and we watched this one on Netflix, and we binged the snot out of this one. This was one of those ones where they had all the episodes, and we're just like got started in, and we were like, oh, we're invested. So then we just plowed through and we just finished the whole first season. So I'm hoping, excited for a season 2. Like, I think this one did really, really well, so I would assume they're gonna do a second season, which would be really, really fun. The books, they've got plenty of books ahead of everything right now, plenty of manga, so they should be good to go. But so series like this are always interesting, or just any series from Japan, because you could have one that's pretty successful and then the studios is like, nah, we don't want to pick that up again, and then they don't. So you never quite know what's going to happen. I think it's a little bit more stabilized nowadays compared to yesteryear, years gone by. This was okay. I didn't realize I put all 3 that my daughter had recommended to me. May I ask for one final thing? Another really good series. I like this one. I have my little commentary from Button saying, like, if you ever dreamt of punching corrupt nobles, it really is. Like, if you've ever had that dream in your head of like punching your boss, or like being frustrated with congressmen, senators, politicians in general, whatever like that. Noble peoples is kind of our thing, because this is set back in the day. And you just really want to just lay hands on them, kind of thing. This is the anime for you. The Scarlet here gets to punch a lot of bad people, so it's really fun. That's a good one. It fits right up the alley for my daughter, because she's kind of this archetype of character where she's sweet and innocent, and then when she lowers her brow and looks at you with her blue eyes through the scowl on her face, you're like, oh fuck, I've messed things up now, and this is going to be bad. So it fits right up the alley for her. So that's a good one. This one was one that surprised me a little bit, because I've watched other science animes before. I'm trying to think. Oh, Dr. Stone. That was a really good one, because they go through and they use science in the episode, but it's set up in a very different type of way, where the world has, like, something has happened and the world is gone, and he's like thousands of years in the future, and he comes back to life from being trapped in stone, and he uses science, and like they use actual science facts to teach you things and bring things into the show. This one's a little bit different, where it actually has to do with mineralogy, geology, the study of rocks, and a lot of different things, but it's set in like almost in present time. So it's a very like collegiate style show, which is really fun. I think I saw enough clips on some of the social medias that I was just like, okay, fine, I'll go check this out. And I was like, it's probably going to be dumb or silly or whatever like that, because of the way they draw the characters in some spaces. And I actually got into it being like, oh, it actually, like, they actually have really good scientific facts and stuff in there that's blended into the show really, really well. Like, it doesn't have a gimmick or anything that has to go with it. Like, it's really about academia and studying this type of material and stuff like that. So it was really cool. Like, I was really, really happy with that one. I hope they do a second season on that one. I'm not sure if they will. I had to throw in there My Hero Academia, because they finally finished off their final season, final episodes here. I love the way they tied this up. I felt like there's a lot of anime series that go through and just have to rush finish certain things. Like, that's just projects in media in general. whether it be movie, TV shows. You look at things like Stargate, where I think it was SG1, no, Atlantis, where they just were like, oh yeah, this happens and we're done. It was like, oh, okay. That hurts a little bit. This one actually felt like they did a really good job wrapping it up and giving all of our characters a really good arc and stuff like that. Like, I was happy with it. I was a little bit sad because our main character had to give up a lot, but I think that was the whole point. Like, it worked out really, really well. So had to throw that one in there. Really emotional connection on that one. Good one. And then my last one was campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. This one is interesting. Was interesting to me because I went in thinking like, oh, this is just another like isekai, thrown into dungeon realm style anime, and I came to find out through watching videos and stuff like that the cooking and stuff that they actually do in the show, the illustrators, the people that are working on the animations and stuff like that, actually went through and filmed themselves making the food and then use that to do the animation around. Like, they have like 1-to-1 video reference of them creating the dishes and then literally just drawing what they have from those videos. And it means that the food is actually real. You could actually make the food that comes out of the show, and it actually looks really, really delicious. So this one was a really cool concept. I've seen other shows, cooking shows, anime that are similar to that have used similar idea for how they do their animations. But this was the first one where I was like, there was direct contribution across that. So it was like, and they actually shared the film footage that they used for the animations and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. So I was like, oh, cool, I really like this, and the food looks really good, and the story's not too like crazy or anything like that. Definitely has fun, silly moments in it, but it's a good one. Definitely like that one. Okay, yeah, that's our video for the week. So that'll be up rolling around in the right hand side of our screen. Questions, comments about that one, please let me know. If it sounds like I'm a little nasally today, my nose has been driving me crazy the past couple of days. I think after Wednesday's stream, I don't know if I picked up a bug or just continued the bug that I might have already had, and it just finally made it up into my nose. But if I sound funny or sound weird or whatever, that's partially why. I'm having to do a lot more mouth breathing, so I'm actually getting out of breath a lot faster at the moment. So just keep that in mind. If I sound funky, funny, weird, wrong, I don't know, words, I'm gonna try to do my best to carry on here. I'm not dying. No, it's not like horrible, but it's just annoying more than anything. So, okay. I think I've put off long enough doing some of the actual work here. So what I was talking about, there comes a point where when you're doing self-publishing, it's time to buy your ISBNs. I know I talked about this a little bit on Wednesday? Can't remember which day. Anyways, in the United States, if you want to buy your own ISBN and use it for your book projects, the only place to go and do that is through Boker, also known as myidentifiers.com. They are the government entity that owns all of the ISBNs. They control all of them. They manage them all, that type of thing. If you would like, there are lots of other companies out there that resell these ISBNs. But the problem with that is, I'll have to, let me see if I can bring this up real quick. We'll go through it. I know I talked about it a little bit already before, but here we go. So here's the Boker Publishing Services main page for their website. They have ISBNs you can buy, barcodes that you can buy, and the copyright. I'm not quite sure 100% what this is. I haven't used that part yet. But the two main ones are the ISBNs and the barcodes that you're going to want. Okay, yeah, that's right. So an ISBN costs about $125 if you want to buy one by itself. Most people don't do this. They either buy like the 10 or the hundreds, or they even sell thousands of them. So other publishers, if they have ISBNs to give away or throw around, it's because they buy them in the thousands. Places like Amazon has ISBNs that they give out. Places like Ingram Spark also has ISBNs that they can give out. I think Barnes & Noble, with their publishing house, they have ISBNs that they give out. A lot of them will give them for free. Amazon is especially good for those type of things. The only drawback to getting a free ISBN or buying an ISBN from anybody else except for this Boker Publishing is that you do not own it. So when I buy an ISBN, it is registered to my name, to me itself. So currently I have two ISBNs, one for book 1 and one for book 2. And then yesterday I actually purchased the third ISBN, which is right here. All three of these are registered to my name. I own them, they're mine. I can do whatever I want with them. But there's not a way to transfer them to somebody. I think it's really hard to be able to do that. Or I don't even know if it's possible that you can do that. A lot of places, if they want to buy out their, like if you sell your book to a publishing company and they do all the ISBN, do all the stuff for it, if at some point they're like not selling copies and they don't want to deal with it anymore and stuff like that, if you want to buy it back from them or take it back from them and then republish it yourself, you have to get a new ISBN for it and basically start over kind of thing, from what I understand. So it's kind of a tricky situation where it's nice that a lot of these companies have free ones or cheaper ones. Like I was saying, if you buy 1,000 of them, the price goes drastically down compared to $125 for one, right? I'd have to do the math on it, but which I don't want to do at this moment. Oops, something there. So make sure, I would say, do your research on ISBNs. Make sure and be thorough about it. Make sure you know what you want to do with your projects and how you want to set everything up. If you're okay getting an ISBN from Amazon because you don't see yourself ever going away from them or changing any of that, then like that free route is super. Their KDP, do that. That's perfect. For me and what I've got going on, this is the most versatile way for me to do things. It gives me the most control. It gives me the ability to move it, do different things with it. It's under my control in that way. If a company was just like, hey, we really love your series, we would like to buy it from you, or buy whatever they could make a different version of it with their own ISBN and stuff like that. But I will own the original. So it's just a different setup, different way to do things. Like I said, make sure you go through and do the research. Make sure you know what you're getting into and stuff like that. But just make sure that Boker is the only one that sells these ISBNs. So anybody else claiming to sell them to you, they are not. They actually retain the control over that ISBN, even if you decide to yank your book from their platform or not work with them anymore. So you'll have to get your own. It will cause disconnection between a lot of different things, and in a world where you want to keep everything nice and connected, those interruptions and doing a lot of the legwork to track all that stuff down, a lot of headache. I've seen a lot of tales, a lot of people having to deal with a lot of runaround when it comes to tracking down ISBNs and trying to figure out how to make all that stuff work. So, like I said, for me, it was easiest being like, no brainer. I want the control. It's a little bit more expensive at the moment, but then I have access and control to that type of stuff. So, I probably oh look, this is the bestseller. Yeah, this is the difference between as you buy more of them all in one package here. Their bestseller here, their 10 ISBNs, is $295. So that brings the cost of one ISBN down to $29.50. So you get a pretty significant discount when you buy more of them. I should probably do this and have them accessible. If you are currently right now, like, since I'm doing this in a very slow process and trying to make sure that I have money to put towards all of these things, I'm not doing that currently. But I also only have one version of each book, so I don't need a whole bunch of ISBNs. With that being said, I currently have a hardcover book. You can see right here, Stitch Tales hardcover. I have these two, book 1 and book 2 here. If I was going to do a paperback copy of, say, book 1, I would have to have an ISBN for that, a brand new one. Can't use the same one. It has to have its own ISBN. If I want to do a digital copy of book 1, same thing. It would have to have its own ISBN. So that's where it becomes nice to buy this pack of 10, is because for the 2 books that I currently have out, if I wanted to do those 3 versions, hardcover, softcover, and a digital copy, that would be 3 times 2 books. That would be 6 ISBNs right there. So like, I'm already killing it on saving a bunch of money, and I have 4 left over kind of thing. So it's worth it. I think definitely making sure and making decisions about what type of version that you are going to have, what the size and publication of your book is going to look like, how many, I don't think you have to do it with audiobook. I may be wrong about that, because it's audio, it's not really ISBN based. Yeah, I think any type of printed version, it has to have a different ISBN. So just throwing that out there for people so that they understand part of the process and stuff like that. That's cool. Okay. Whew. Running out of breath again. With that being said, with all of that behind, you can see I've got an old shirt and a new name, Stitch Tales. This is book 1. It's ISBN, hardback. It's got a cover image with it, and then it also has a barcode. Same thing for book 2, all the way across. And then the line underneath it, this is for book 3. So it's not assigned to a title yet, because I have to go through and fill out all of that information today. Because then I will have to upload the cover, and then I can generate the barcode to be able to put on the book. So we've got a couple things to do. We've got 2 other barcodes to make today because we have to change out book 1 and book 2 barcodes for the new price point. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do all this. I'm gonna see if I can do this live on stream and manage part of this, but hopefully this goes right. If not, probably will melt down on stream. So hey, that'll be good for content, right? Tahoe meltdown, that'd be great. Last night I went through and I purchased 1 ISBN and 3 barcodes. That's what I purchased. So question is, if I go into book 1, oops, it signed me out. That's gonna suck a little bit. I didn't know that was going to time out. Good to know. Like I said, I have to be careful because it does have some of my sensitive information on it, so I don't want to throw some of that out there. Okay, so let's go into book 1 here. This is what the information is that we need to fill out in order to get our books registered with our ISBN. So title information, book title, and you can see it has a little red star on it, so that is important information that you have to fill out. Subtitle, description, describe your book, publication date, language, copyright year, we don't have translate timer, Library of Congress control number. Oh, I don't have that yet. I'm trying to remember. So like every year that I do this, I have to go back and figure out exactly how I did it last time. I think I can go back and fill that in later once I get that number. Did I do that? Did I go back and do that for book 2? Let's double check. Aha! I have not put the Library of Congress control number in there. See, I did forget to go back and do that. So I'm glad I'm double checking all of this. Let me grab that real quick. ISBN, let's see it. Okay. This should be, nope, it's not that one. Should be that one. That's good because it's good to update all of the stuff. So let's put that number in. Save progress. The form is complete. Has been successful. Okay, cool. Buttons backyard treasure hunt. Yep, Library of Congress control number. Okay, so that's a good thing to remember is that you can submit and have all of your stuff done, and then you can come back and add your Library of Congress control number after the fact. So. Okay, so that is, your ISBN is updating, please allow, okay. So that's gonna update and change part of that information for us. But it's gonna take a little time for it to go through and do that. It has to get approved and everything. Cool. Let's make sure nothing else needs to be changed. This is me, I am the author and the illustrator here. Yeah, you have to go through and mark all the things that you are. Yep, did that. This is the contributors. So, if you are working on a book with somebody else, then you would add their information to this page as well, so that they also get credit. Okay, that one's done. So format and size, print, hardback. What does this say? Format details? I never picked that one. I wonder if some of this information is new as well. Puzzle 46 size. Well, I don't know what all of these are. A5, A4. Need to change your medium? No, it's print. I don't remember this one. Not a board. Back scrolling. Stupid mouse. Do they have picture book? No. Paperbacked? No. Oh, they do have picture book. Format details. I didn't know that. That might be new. Packaging. Okay, we don't have any packaging. Don't have to worry about trade catalog. I thought we had the weight of the book, but I think each one is a little bit different. This is all information that you can add to this, but it's, as you can see, none of it is marked with the red except for the medium here and the format. In the first genre, which you get to pick. So let's go ahead and save that progress. Since we added that, we updated that. We have to go through and do that with book number 1, because I think I might not, that might be a new selection there. Okay, so I'm gonna go to sales and pricing. Okay, this is where we may need to change some stuff for book number 2 as well. Okay, so US dollars, I want to edit. Okay, these are all going to change to $17.99. Done with this price data. Okay, so that was already in edit. Okay, currency, retail price, price availability. Distributor, that's Ingram Spark. Discount code. I'm not, like I said, some of this stuff I'm not 100% sure what it's for. Abbreviation for publisher, discount code, code taken from this. Okay. Price availability note offers more information about the price and product status. Choose one availability code from the drop down. Don't need to do that. I think I'm done with that. So this is where I get a little worried, scared, because I don't want to mess this up. I want to make sure everything is working correctly here with our changes. Let's submit it and see what happens. Okay, successfully saved. It should be still in pending. Okay, so they're gonna have to go through it and figure out some of that. Let's go ahead and manage number 2 here. Okay, so 3 barcodes available. It says right here for ISBN. Okay, so I'll go back and we'll look at that. So in your ISBN dashboard here, which is under my identifiers on the page, We just changed some of the information with our ISBN 13-digit code here. We don't have to change the cover, but over on the right hand side there's a manage button underneath barcode. That's where we want to manage this because we already have a barcode created for the $16.99 price point. But we also want to make a $17.99 price point because we are changing the price of the book. Barcodes are for physical books, soft or hardcover books. If your publication is digitally, then a barcode is unnecessary. Okay, there you go. So you don't need a barcode for digital ebooks and stuff like that. So keep that in mind as well. To generate without a price encoded on it, enter 00. This will generate barcode with a 90,000 code. I don't know what that means. Okay, I think I'm good to go on this. So this is the scary part. If I screw this up, I lose 25 bucks. That's the kicker. I don't want to lose 25 bucks, but there's a possibility of that. So y'all get to experience this with me right now. Publication price $17.99. That's what we just said, right? We're going from $16.99. We're going $1 more, so $17.99. Yes. Double check, triple check, make sure I'm reading this correctly. Please enter price information for new barcode below. Oh, I can preview barcode? Aha, yes, okay. Cool, yeah, this is why you always read the different ways to do this. So if I look at $16.99, I can view that barcode. It's going to do the same thing. $16.99, 979 58156. Let's preview that again. 56-5. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we should be good there. Okay, let's generate barcode. Let's see if it likes me today. Your barcode was successfully generated. You now have 2 available to configure. Okay, I have 2 left. I don't know what that was about. Cool. There we go. So now we have a second barcode for our new price point on our books here. We can download that as a PDF. Yes, we would like to allow you to download that. Let me double check that. Yep, that looks great. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go into... I'm gonna put this in my folder. Oh, there it is. I've got the... I'm actually going to download both of those. So let me download the EPS as well. I can keep both of those on track here. Let's mark those as red because those are old. Let's take the new ones and put them in here. I'm organizing my life so I can make sure this is done correctly. Okay, cool. Okay, so I think that's right for our first one here. Yep, and our barcodes, 2 barcodes available left to do. Perfect. I'll go back to my identifiers here. That one is still pending. Probably going to take some time before that one goes through. Let's check on book number 1 here. Okay, Library of Congress number, copyright. That stuff all looks great. Contributors. We had looked at all of this. This was fine. It was the format and size. Publication description. There was picture book. No, it wasn't that. Which one was it? Oh, it was this one. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Picture book. Format details. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and save that. That will put that one into pending as well. But we can go down to the price, sales and price. Let's go ahead and switch that to $17.99. Done with that price data. The crazy part about this is that there's a time, not necessarily a time limit, but I have to make sure that I go through on Ingram Spark now and change out all of those prices as well to make sure that this all lines up correctly. Okay, $17.99. If we go back up to identifiers, correct, that one should be pending now. So we should be able to go into an old shirt and a new name. We can manage this one. Okay, we need a barcode at $17.99. Let's preview that to make sure that's correct. $17.99. Yep, that looks good. 847-4. 847-4. Yes. Okay. So we should be able to generate barcode. Make sure I double check all this. $17.99. Not $179. 17.99. Okay, so that looks good. Barcode has been successfully generated. Cool. Didn't get a weird message this time. Like that. Let's go ahead and download the PDF. Let's down the EPS. Perfect. I'm going to save this into my folder like I did with the other one. I know you all don't get to see that organization part of this, but that's okay. It's fine. Okay, so those are green. So we have, now that we have those two done, we can go through and update the files for that, which is good. We'll have to open up Adobe Illustrator at some point here, maybe during the stream. If we get most of this done, and I gotta look at, I gotta figure out what it is I need to do with Ingram Spark too. So this is my publisher / distributor, Ingram Spark. International company for creating and selling and publishing books. I guess they're not the publisher. I am the publisher, so they're the distributor, printer of the books in that way. So, but now that we have these two pieces of information, or have these pending at the moment, and then we have new barcodes. We have to update the cover files for both of these books, for book 1 and for book 2, with the new price barcode on them, and then go into Ingram Spark's website, change the price there, upload the new digital files for the cover, so that those reflect the current price and stuff like that. So we've got that to do. I'm wondering, once we come back from our break here, if I should go through. No, I think I want to still. I think I want to keep going with our Boker stuff, trying to get title number 3 set up, and then this one doesn't have to go all the way through to being finished. So we can get as much of this done and saved at the moment, and then we can finish it up later. That will be okay. So this way you can see the process of going through and putting all the information in and making sure it matches with the other 2 books and stuff like that. So I think that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do here. So with that being said, we've got about 2 minutes before our first break coming up. So let's see. Where's our assistant at? Oh, he is in his spot. Let's switch over to our live assistant here. Yeah, and in about a minute and 30 seconds, we'll be going into our ad break. So I'm going to pause what we're working on at the moment. I'm gonna go grab something to drink, and then once we get done with the ad break, then we'll come back and we'll keep working on stuff. That's the plan. So stick around. I'll be right back. Still in an ad. I might be stuck here forever. Tell my family I love them. Well, thank you, Bishak. I appreciate that. I should probably wait because you were stuck in an ad. Oh man, this is always the most nerve-wracking part of the self-publishing process. Making sure I don't fuck stuff up and lose money. That's the scary part. I've messed up once before early on in this process and had to call and get it fixed, but okay. Are you back, B-Check? Are we back? Should be ad time should be done. I did contact your family. They do love you. Thank you for subscribing with your Prime. I appreciate that. There are lots of birds outside right now. Oh my god, I'm back. I was getting sick. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wonder what type of ads were playing for you. No ads for me. That's right. No ads for Sunny. Because supposedly the ads are supposed to be targeted to what's going on the stream, supposedly. Doggy ads, Meow Mix ads, general insurance ad. Okay, yeah. That's about right. That sounds about right. Okay. Like I said, I'm still a little nervous about all the stuff that I'm doing here on stream at the moment because this is all like big parts of this process. So there was an ad to join a terror organization. Oh, that's because I was talking about my daughter. That sounds about right. She's a cult leader, so that makes a whole lot of sense now. Sounds about right. Noise. Yeah. She's like I was when I was a kid. Very dark, very brooding. Sweet and innocent child, but will fuck you up if she had the opportunity. One of those. Okay. Oh. This process always makes me nervous on stuff. So you may be asking me, Tahoe, why are we changing all of these price? We're changing the price of the book. Why are you updating your barcodes for the book cover and stuff like that? Why are you doing all that? So at the end of last year, we got an email from my distributor, printer, Ingram Spark, which is with the website that I'm on right now, saying that the prices of their services and stuff was going to have to go up in order to deal with the price increase of paper, ink, distribution, shipping, all of those things. Just all the stuff that we're dealing with across the board everywhere. Second year in a row that they've had to do price increases for all that stuff. Probably a little bit of shenanigans happening, like stock, I don't know, any of that stuff where they give the people at the top the bigger paychecks is probably what was going to happen. Anyways, that aside, the way that worked down is that it means that I would have to change the prices on my books. So what that looks like, hopefully the website is going to work here. There we go, it's loading. So this is all the information for Stitch Tales, An Old Shirt and a New Name, Book 1. All of our print information, authors and contributors, very similar to the information that we have over here on Boker's website. Almost direct. We've got some other stuff here, categories, age range, titles, descriptions, those type of things. You can add a lot of different information when you go to fill out your title information for your books through Ingram Spark. The one we want to look at though is print info. Some of this is kind of boring. This is like the size of the book, the pages, how much it weighs, those type of things. How many fit in a carton, those things. The one that we're interested in is this pricing one right here. So the current price is set at $16.99 with a 40% discount. No returns are allowed on this. I can explain that in a second, but the one we're really interested in is compensation. This is how much the author or publisher makes if a book is sold. And if you look at this little red number down here, it says 3 cents. So when I published this first book, the price that I got per book was about 46 cents per book sold. And at the time I was just like, I'm okay with that. Like, if you sell like 1 million copies on Amazon, like that could go, that's a good price. Like, it's not too bad. Should technically it be higher? Probably much higher than that. But in order to get that $16.99 price point based off the printing and distribution that this company offers, 46 cents was about all I could afford at that time. So, but last year when they did their first price hike, they cut that in half. So that went from 46 cents or 48 cents, one of the two, down to 23 cents, I believe. So for all of 2025, I was making only 23 cents per book sold. And even though that wasn't ideal at the time, I was still making like 23 cents, and it was still at a price point that I thought was doable. I thought it was like, that's fine. If I sell books in person, I actually make about $7 for each book sold. So I was just like, all right, I can eat that for now. It's fine. As long as I don't go any lower than that, then we should be okay. Sadly, at the beginning of 2026, after they announced more price changes, my compensation dropped to 3 cents per book sold. So that was a little too far. It was like, okay, well, unfortunately, even though I know this is a self-published book, it's an indie title. It's not being backed by a huge publisher or anything like that. 3 cents, unfortunately, even though it's still in the positive, it's too hard to keep that at that price. So because pricing is fun like this, and they don't like you doing like $16.49 for a price, because that'll throw people for a loop. You usually have to increase your prices by at least $1 to make stuff work out. So that's why we're changing the price to $17.99 instead of $16.99. So unfortunately, print costs and shipping and all those things helped contribute to having to do this, so that we weren't possibly in the, because there is a strong possibility that if they do another price change, even like halfway through the year, for some reason, my compensation will actually go into the negative, and that will mean that I will owe them money, or have to pay them for when somebody buys one of my books. So I'm like, I don't want to find that out. I don't want to play around and have a huge net negative on our publishing and stuff like that. So sadly, it means a little bit of work to get the books changed. It means that price point that I really wanted to keep the books at and sell publicly to people, unfortunately is not going to be able to stay. So it's going to be $18 to buy the book from here on out. So I do need to make... If your price appears on your cover, file change may also require revisions. Okay, yeah. So I don't want to do this quite yet because I just downloaded the new barcodes, so I need to update the actual covers with the new barcodes so that I have them ready to go to swap these out. So, but I want to make this transition pretty quick, pretty seamless here. So I definitely want to try to get to that sooner rather than later. I don't want to leave this for a long period of time, even though I potentially have like 48 hours with these being, yeah, still an offline here. So there's the long skinny of it. If you have any questions about any of that stuff that I just talked about, or just about any of this publishing stuff, feel free to let me know, or drop into the tahoeanime.com. There's a form at the bottom of the page that if you'd like to send in a question, you can do that, and I will try to answer it on stream. Okay, that was the long skinny of it. That was the unfun part of this whole thing, is all of that changing and having to deal with price changes and all that jazz. So let's go back and work on some more fun stuff. Okay, so we're gonna pull up book number 2 here, but I'm gonna open up book 3. We're gonna start putting in our information for all of this, so we want to make sure this is all works across each other. So Buttons Backyard Treasure Hunts, cool. This one's going to be Buttons and the Box Party Surprise. That's right. No commas, no periods, no anything like that. Our subtitle, we can actually just copy that from book 2, put that on book 3 here. Okay, I gotta turn that into a JPEG for the cover. I won't worry about that. So describe your book. Stitch Tales, an exciting series that, okay. Let's go ahead and copy this. We'll do 2 returns here, and we'll actually come over to here. I think I finally got the blurb for the back of book 3 done. I have a question. What does it mean when you dream about being in the movie Cool Runnings? Because that happened last night. Ooh, that's a good question. What does it mean? That means you are, you're dreaming about the 90s. You're dreaming about the days of the good old days of back then, when movies were silly and innocent and semi-inspirational, and semi-true and fun and exciting. It's probably a look back at your youth and just remembering a piece of momentary happiness that you had back in the day. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I just pulled that out of my ass. I do have to say, I love that movie. That was such a good movie. I still think it's crazy that they actually used film footage from the accident, like, in that movie. Most movies that do something like that nowadays, they go back and try to recreate that, the visuals of that, and they usually punch it up and do kinds of crazy stuff. And I felt like them doing that and taking that actual piece of history, putting into that film, and it's kind of like an anchoring point, because the film almost feels too fantastical. Like, John Candy is amazing in that. I mean, he was fucked up too, but like, the setup for it and everything like that, like it was a fantastical telling of that story, but to have that historical anchor for it was just like it really, it's the thing that I hold on to all the time when I think about that story and be like, no, that's a real fucking story. That really freaking happened. And I think if they hadn't have put that into the movie, I don't think it would have had that resonance with it, that connection point, that anchor point. So it was a really cool thing that they did. Haha, that was a good answer. Also agree, it was a good movie. It was. I'm interested to see where the media of the world is going. I'm very fascinated by the movie, what's his name, that just came out with that movie that's doing really well, the independent one, Markiplier. Like the fact that is working is fascinating to me. And I keep seeing interviews with people talking about it, and it's like, okay, this is either going to open up a lot of cool doors, or there's going to be a lot of people higher up that are going to get really fucking scared and do a bunch of crappy stuff, which is going to hurt them even more and possibly even open up more doors and more avenues for things. I think it kind of proves the point that we're kind of in this, we really are in a time of drastic shift in culture. Like we're in full-blown culture disassembly and a reassembly kind of thing. It kills me that the new 28 Years Later did so poorly in the box office. I saw it yesterday and it is freaking incredible. I wish I was one of those. I watched 28 Days Later, I think, which was the first one. That one fucked me up a little bit. I wish I was more into like scary movies and horror and stuff like that, but I just, like, I can take some emotional damage, but it kind of has to be has to be in bits and pieces that I can manage in certain ways. I used to be able to just destroy myself with some of those movies, but yeah, I don't, movies and media and stuff like that, it's all kind of crazy. You know what we need is a Stitch Tales movie or show. I feel like it would, I don't know. That would be cool. You got me speechless at the moment. Dang you. I don't know how that would work. My brain keeps just going back to Bluey and how much that has blown up, and I don't know. Thank you, Dreamer. I can see. Okay, I'm like diving around in different parts of my brain and memory at the moment here. I could see a possibility of some type of like animation adaptation at some point. I wonder if I could look it up. There is a character. He's a little penguin. It's from Kutori. It's, oh god, what's his name? Something Chan. Oh my god. Kape-chan. Yeah, Kape-chan. And it's almost like it's very similar shape to the character. Like I wouldn't say it's a carbon copy kind of thing, but the setup for it and everything else that they do is like right along the vein that I would love to see, kind of thing. The only difference is that I don't know if you guys know this, but with characters like Hello Kitty, supposedly that's a little girl in a cat costume, and that's how that story comes about, or it's weird. It's something like that. But most of the characters are basically human-esque, or they take the part of the humans in the world that they live in. There's not much, like if you think about like Peanuts, back in the day, Snoopy, his comic books and stuff like that, you only ever saw the kids and Snoopy and Woodstock and all of those characters. You never saw the humans, but they were there. Like they would still have conversations with them or do something and stuff like that. That's kind of missing from a lot of the anime shows, is the presence of the actual humans, that the characters that are in those stories and stuff like live, they occupy the world, and there are not really humans there to occupy with them, kind of stuff. Where my story, we kind of live in tandem, even though they're omniscient, they're not, you don't see them. They are aware of them, and they do make a difference in that world. So I don't know, it would be interesting to see if that would translate across, or if it would work. I don't know. The other part that scares me is, would I want to have too much control over all of it and be a freaking tyrant about it? Okay. That would be the scary part. I guess what I'm really saying is I need a manager. I need somebody to come and manage all this for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so subjects and genres. We need to figure out where this is on. Not contributors, is it? Okay, so I gotta always reference back to book 2 here to see what I put in for some of this stuff. Subjects and genres. Okay, children's fiction, comics and graphic novel. Okay, so we want children's fiction, and then I picked, what did I pick? Comics and graphic novels general, which is correct but not correct at the same time. It's not education, it's not family. I've already chose children's fiction, so I don't want that. Okay, so that's the primary. It's not pets, not performing, political, science. No. Let's just keep going with the same one. Comic and graphic novel. Yeah, because it's basically, that's along the same lines. We'll get you a manager like BB Glazer from Frasier. Yeah. Okay, this is this part. Right. That's me. Oh, and for anybody out there who doesn't know, not every Mick, what last name, Mick Mullen, Mick whatever, has a space between the MC and the rest of the last name. Stop doing that. Every time I get a bill or something from somebody and they're like, MC space Mullen, I'm like, nope, that's not my name. That is not how I wrote it down either. So don't do that. I get it. It has double capital letters in it. It's weird. I got it. No space. A freaking passport screwed up on that. Preach. I hate it when they do that. Yeah, you would know that. That's my hill I'm dying on right there. I'm staking my claim on that. It's not there. Is it contributors? No. Where is... biography? Where the heck is the biography in here? It's gotta be in contributors. Am I missing it? Yeah, I'm just missing it because I'm a silly guy. It's gotta happen with everybody, right? There's gotta be a whole Irish, Scottish amounts of people that are just, that's just thrown on them, right? Or is it just like automatic that, did I spell that wrong? I did spell that wrong. Holy shit. Huh. I'm gonna have to go fix that. Save progress. Cool. I'm gonna have to go fix that on book number 1 too. Didn't realize I'd missed that. Describe a book that's not here. Oh, I did mess that up there too. Huh, go figure. Hey, look at that. We're finding problems in everything that I've been doing. Okay. Back over to book 3. Okay, I am the author. I am also the illustrator. Where is this at? What else did I put down? I'm the artist. Sure. Artist. What else did I pick? Anything else? Select all that apply. Okay, so it looks like those are the 3 that I chose. Go to the page. Cool. Okay, sales and pricing. Okay, so book 1 came out April 11th, 2024. It's on demand. It will be okay, they've got an active record forthcoming. Indicates the availability of the title in this geographic market. Choose one status from the drop-down list. Titles currently available for sale to publisher, distributor, wholesale, or active records. Bookers consider forthcoming titles and titles that are temporarily out of stock as active records. Out of print status may be entered here. So it's not out yet though. $17.99 is the price. Target audience. What did I put down for target audience? Primary education. Let's say juvenile audience. Adult, college, elementary, high school, English second family, juvenile audience. I guess technically it's not it would be primary education. I guess it is it educational? Oh man, ban evader. Goodbye, person. I have it set to that on the other book. Primary educations, because I guess it is semi-educational. It's entertainment. Gaming. Juvenile audience. It's going to be on demand, but it's not out yet. The date on which a retail, consumer, or library may take possession of a product. Enter publication date in the drop-down fields provided. List new edition or titles separately under their own ISBN. Do not adjust the publication date. If you have signed a contract with a new distributor or sales agent, the publication date of the title will remain as the date they first went on sale. Okay. Before I go through, so I'm not going to show you that at the moment on screen today because I'm not quite ready to share with everybody the publication date or when it's going to be published. It will be this year, so there. How about this? It's going to be 2026. We know that. It will be this year, but the actual date, we're not quite ready yet. So things I need to do for this. Got the book title done, subtitles there. All of this stuff can be updated. Format print, hardback, that's good. First genre, children's fiction. Authors and contributors. Okay, we don't want to add any more contributors because we don't have anybody else going on this. Has my name here. Did I do a suffix at all? Do I know? Contributors here. No, I did not. Okay, that's fine. I selected the 3 things that I am: author, illustrator, artist. Fine. We are down to this part. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go back to here. Get rid of that page. Let's take this one. Sorry, everybody, we have to go off the screen at the moment. See, because you don't get to see this part. Let's pick our month. Pick our day. I'm pretty sure I can come back and change this if I need be. Pretty sure. I'm gonna double check something. I wrote down. I have the day written down, but I gotta go find it. Make sure I wrote it down correctly. Yes, okay. I am correct. I just want to make sure. Let's see. I'm going to press the submit button for it. The form is complete and has been uploaded successfully. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Okay. So now we have things we can go back and fix. Can't believe I didn't catch that. B-U-T-T-O-N-S and the box party surprise. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and choose. Okay, we don't have a file yet. Wait. So we have to save that as a. Let's go to the PNG real quick. Let's open it. Let's go ahead and export that as a JPEG. Best settings. Maximum files. Okay, yeah, we're good. Let's put that on, the desktop. Save. Because we need that JPEG. Making sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, so let's go back over here. Upload cover. Oh, we have to choose a file first. Beep. Choose file. This one. Upload. Upload cover. Hey, look at that. Cool. So that's good. Go ahead and submit that. Okay. Let's go back to my identifiers. Okay, got that set up. Got our cover set up. I think we can go ahead and generate the barcode for this. We should have our last barcode ready to go here. Don't know why it's doing this. It should be... What does this look like? New editions ISB, no previous, no. Full editions, not a special edition. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Maybe because they haven't gone through and approved it yet, it doesn't have the full name on it. Cool, that's fine. Let's go ahead and generate this barcode. So we're going to be 1799. Oops, 0.99. Gotta remember that point. We do have one barcode available, so make sure that I'm doing this correctly here. We have our ISBN, it's generated. There's our ISBN for it. There's our price. Let's go ahead and preview that. Yep. 8017. 8017, 799. Okay, so I think we should be good with this. Let's make sure it's happy with me. Archives may send generating. Okay, we should have 0 left. Perfect. Let's go ahead and download that EPS. Let's download the PDF so that I have access to those. 0 barcodes left available. Cool. I think that does what we needed to do. Do I need... Yeah, so we're going to take a picture of that so that we have it, access to it. Let's go ahead and move PDF. Let's move the EPS. Let's get rid of that LCCN because that's from book 2. We don't want that anymore. We're not currently. Those are green, so that's good. Let's go through. There we go. Boker, let's take a screenshot of that. This is me being paranoid and making sure that I try to capture all the, I mean, it's on stream, so like it's all captured somewhere in some form, shape. But backing myself up with backups and double checking everything and making sure that I've got everything ready to go. That it's organized and cataloged the way I need it to be cataloged too. So, okay, whew. That was the scary part. You already saw, like, we had a couple errors and mistakes that I had made that I had to go back and already change and update, so. Cool. I think we are think we did it. I think this part of this, we are waiting on these. These are all pending. With this new title, this will have to go through and get approved. We'll have to change. I have to get my listing over on Ingram Spark set up and changed out, or at least get the third one set up and get all of the information. It's going to be a very similar process to what we did here, where we're going to bring up the new project, book 3, and then we're going to open up like one of the other book 2 or book 1, and then we're just going to copy the information over so that everything stays consistent and precise, exactly the same throughout the entire process. So I don't think you want much of this to differ or change as you go through. Like it should all be very, very much regimented and the same. I've heard that there's a possibility if you don't keep everything as consistent as you can, it can actually break a lot of the connections between it. So if you publish a bunch of different works and this information is not all the same, there's a possibility when like Amazon or any type of a big company or whatever, Barnes & Noble, bookstores, whatever, they'll look at that information and they'll be like, oh, these are separate because they're not the same. So making sure, like for a series like this, which I want to make sure that everything is connected to each other, that you make sure that your information is all the same across the board. So that's why I went through and made sure to copy and paste all of the stuff that was exactly the same and make sure the same information was filled out on all of them. So they would all be consistent across each other. Okay. Whew. Feeling at the moment. So. Hey, oh, thank you for the big
Bryce
stretch.
Austin says big stretch.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna need it. Hey, petting the assistant. Let's
Bryce Austin pet the assistant.
On our assistant. Oh, there's our assistant. Thank you, Bryce, for doing that. I appreciate it. I will do some stretches, try to wiggle off some of this nervousness. I can only imagine for like bigger companies, they have somebody dedicated to making sure this whole process goes through and works. They literally just sit around and this is the paperwork that they do all day. So I can imagine super easy, but for me that has to try to remember every year exactly what I did from last year, stacking on top of all the other stuff that I've learned and been doing and swapping around to, it's always nerve-wracking. I'm always a little worried that I'm gonna fuck something up and it's just, that I've already screwed something up, like that everything that I have set up currently, I did something wrong or filled something out incorrectly, and that there's a possibility I may be hurting myself by repeating this over and over again. I think most of it can be fixed, but I've heard horror stories of people going through the self-publishing process and running into just wall after wall of red tape and problems, and I would like to stay away from that as best I can. So I'm trying. Man. Got a dip going to lunch with a friend. I will see you and Dreamer for your Sunday stream. Yeah, thank you, Bryce. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Thank you for the good question, too. Hope you have a good lunch with your friend. I'm going to keep doing some stretching at the moment. Ugh. I did not get my sternum to pop. It wants to, but it won't. If anybody doesn't know, sternum is the little space in between your rib cage that kind of holds the two together, the two sides, the left and the right side. I freak people out sometimes when I am able to pop that. They don't like that. Dreamer does not like that. She goes, doesn't that hurt? And I'm like, no, it feels good. Okay. Whew. Okay, breathe. Breathe, Tahoe. It's okay. You're good. You're good. Let's see, we've got about 12 minutes for that. What else can we accomplish here? Well, we've got some time in between, because we're waiting on this stuff to go through its pending process. That could take a little bit of time. Let me see. Let's go back over to, I closed out Ingram Spark because I knew it was going to log me out. So let me log back into that real quick. Okay, that's right. I didn't want to mess with any of this with the price changes quite yet, because I don't have the files ready for it to upload, which I was going to swap over, open up Illustrator, and get those kind of put together. But in order to do that, I have to shut some stuff down. I was going to do that during the break time. Trying to think what else. I already updated. So I was able to go through. Dreamer and I sat down last night. I was feeling, I'm being a little stuffed up and stuff right now. I got a little pressure and stuff going on, so my thinking process wasn't like fully available to me yesterday, unfortunately. It happens. It's funny, when you don't get enough oxygen, you run into problems. Go figure. So we sat down and she helped me a little bit, and we got rid of some of the writing stuff that I had. I had like a whole page worth of rewriting this sentence for the blurb on the back of the book over and over, and we were able to pick and choose some stuff. We had to shorten a couple things, but I think we came up with a pretty good blurb for it. Could it probably be better? Probably. Is it going to work better than the ones I had? Yes, much better. So, but we wrote out, in Buttons in the box party surprise, a little time has gone by and Buttons has grown up. One day, a curious new box arrives in the house that's different than the ones he usually plays in. I'm reading it weird. When a small kitten named Patch leaps out, it turns an ordinary day into a lifelong friendship. Who knows what mischief these two will thread together next? Yeah, we thought that was pretty good setup on that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick because I cannot breathe worth of shit. Okay, very snotty nosed right now. I can feel it. I can feel it coming. I'm doing my best here. I'm barely surviving. Okay. Let's go ahead and get set up for the next part of the stream here. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of Safari. I'm actually going to quit out of it. I am going to put this on. What do I want to put this on? Okay, cool. That worked. Let's go ahead and open up. I'm trying to do this and hope it does not crash the stream. No guarantees. Illustrator is a pretty intensive program, and opening it while we're in the middle of a stream may not be beneficial. Okay, we made it. Okay. A little bit of downtime here in between. Sorry about that. Hey, I got it. Cool. We did it. We did it. Let's see. So this is the big deal right here. ISBN. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. I did that. Go and empty that off of there. Question is, we've got our new barcode here. Do I want the EPS? Can I even open that on there? Open with Adobe Illustrator? The document uses fonts that are currently not available on your computer. Yeah, that's fine. Copy. Paste. Okay, so now I have the important job of trying to get this to match up. Doesn't have to be exact, but let's go ahead and, okay, that's already grouped. Okay, got that lined up. The only one that I had to move was the 1799 one. That should be close enough. There we go. So you can see that our barcode number here didn't change, or our barcode graphic didn't change, but the barcode for the price over here, that one did change. So that's partially why we have to change out the graphics and stuff for this changeover. So I left that at 50%, 37%. Let's put that back up there. Let's drop this down because we are off by a little bit here. It's not a big deal, but we can fix that. Okay, there we go. Should get that. Should be able to take the 1699 one, delete that now, pick up the 1799 one, copy, put it here. Delete. Yeah, ISBN number. We got it. I was able to swap everything out. Get it all set up here. So we're gonna go ahead and save this because this is our new one for book number 1. I'm gonna have to go through and get rid of all of the pink stuff. I don't know quite what that is for, but I'll get that all fixed up here in a minute. But in the meantime, we've got about 2 minutes before our last one? No, before our second ad break here. Let me see. Oh, and look, our assistant is in his spot. Hey, there's assistant. Good old assistant. So let's pause here for swapping out our ISBNs and getting those things all exported and published out. And we'll wait. We'll run that break time, run those ads for the 3 minutes. And then when we come back, we'll have another hour where we'll keep working on this stuff and hopefully not crash anything or do anything crazy, but hopefully everything will work out just fine. We'll get these uploaded to Ingram Spark with the new price changes, and we'll go from there. So yeah, stick around, hang out, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Okay. Oh, good. Our assistant here has gotten comfortable now. Don't worry. It doesn't look like he's comfortable, but he does this every day. He's very happy with this setup. He's literally laying on top of the base of a little 2-story cat tower, which has 2 beds on it. This is his choice. He's got full range over all that stuff. This is his love spot right now. Not to mention it's right by that heater, which kicks on and blows nice warm air right on his hips. I think he has a little hip issues, so I bet you that heat feels really nice. But no, he's a happy boy. Okie dokie. Oh, let's get back to it. Let's figure out what is up with this part. Why does this have a thing around it? That's something from the EPS that brings over? What is that? Let's just go ahead and ungroup it all. CRB. I don't know what that font is. Why is it doing a highlight behind it? And can we turn it off? Is that because of the font? Oh, it is. Okay. We just have to change the font to Myriad Pro, I believe. Okay, cool. There we go. Sweet. I was hoping that wasn't going to be something crazy that I had to do. Perfect. Sweet. Perfect. Okay. So book 1, we are changed out. Huzzah. Let's go ahead and save this. What I need to do is I need to export it. Front cover's fine. I also have to apply for our LCCN, but I think we have to have a couple other things put together first before we can do that. Okay, so I have to remember how I do this. Like I said, a lot of this process is reteaching yourself how you did things from before. Do I do it straight from here? I thought no, but could be wrong. just save that straight as a PDF? Export as Adobe PDF. Put it on the desktop for now. I've gone through and I've messed with all of this stuff before. It should be still set up the correct way. Let's see what it does. Yeah, I don't think it did it right. Okay, so if I look this up, PDF document, 4.1 megabytes, version 1.4, pages 1. I think this one page, yeah, this gave me all 3 pages. Just not what I wanted. So that's wrong. Okay, let's try again. Export as PDF. Okay, we just want range. We just want number 1. That was my problem. Try that again. Okay. Okay, that time I think we did it. So what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling up the info on each of the files and I'm comparing and contrasting them. So it's a PDF document. They're 4.1 megabytes. The other one is, actually it says 6.3 for the new one. It's in that location, which is fine. Front cover book 1. Okay, so that's where this is wrong. Okay. Author says Adobe Illustrator, which is not right. It is the version 1.4. That's correct. It's 1 page. That's correct. Content creator preview. No, that's... Okay, so... Why did I not keep... Okay, so that one can go in the trash. That one's wrong as well. So let's go ahead and file export this as a PNG. PNG, just want number 1. Let's put that on the desktop. Yes, we want that high. We want that optimized. Yes. Okay. Guess let's do that. Okay, so then we have to open it with preview. Ooh, that's big. Y'all don't get to see that at the moment. Then I have a special... We don't want to share it. We want to print it. This is where the fun comes in. I have a special preset set for this. There's the cover. Okay. That's correct. Portrait landscape. Okay, so then we want to go to save this as a PDF. Ooh, I need to remember the information that I put in for this. Where is that information? That's comments. open with. Preview, that's fine. Share permissions. Da, da, da. Let's check this out. Why does it say png.pdf? What the heck? Okay, no, that was right. That was fine. We just get rid of the PNG part. Put that on the desktop. Let's save it. Let's double check to make sure that that's correct. Like I said, it's a lot of compare and contrast to make sure everything is set up correctly. Okay, I think I've got it down now. Yes, 4.1 megabytes on disk. Yes, those are the same now. Sweet. Paper 6, front back cover. Book 1. Did I? Oh, I wonder. Maybe I did do this wrong. Preview. Quit preview. I guess I could actually put that up on stream if I wanted to. I think. Let me open this with. Can I open this with preview? Is it going to be happy with me? 5.1 does not support editing. Undo change. That's fine. Let's go ahead. That's correct. No, I think it was just me. I think I messed it up. Save that there. We'll see what it looks like. Ooh, that looks drastically different. Okay, so now I got to figure out which one is actually correct. Ooh. Neither of them are right for some reason. Oh no. Shoot. Oops. I have to backtrack and figure out what the heck I did here. How did I do this before? Export. Just want that. No, because this is going to give me the wrong information. I want to make sure that the information that I submit is all the same, because if I don't, it'll be problematic. Continue. Setup. Can I do it straight from here? Presets. No, it has to be done through previews. So there's something that I fucked up here. Export as PNG. Just that one page. Export. Let's do art optimized. Maybe that's it. Like I said, a lot of this is trying to figure out what it is that I did previously to make sure that it all works out correctly on this version. Because I don't want it to change the colors of the books. That might be better. Nope, it's a little duller. Why is it so dull? Oh no, I've got a problem. Nikes. What did I do? I'm pretty sure since I don't have it saved, it had to have been open this, open up the AI, the Adobe Illustrator file in preview. Do I export this as a... Did I export it as a JPEG and then redo it?
Imar Dreamer 22 Pet the Assistant.
Oh, thank you, Dreamer, for petting. Love you. Have a good rest of your stream. Oh, thanks, babe. I am struggling at the moment. I do not know what I did. PNG. Call it 12 for the moment. Save. Definitely a color difference. Let's get that. Let's go to print. God, what, it feels wrong. Something feels off about this. Okay, where did that save that at? Those two PNG PDF. Okay, so that should be the new one. Let's put it. Just put it there for the moment. Put this back over here. Okay, let's compare and contrast these two again. Well, I've run into a snag here where something is not adding up correctly here, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. I can't get the exports to look the same, and nothing has changed with the cover except for that barcode. So I'm doing, damn it, every time I get to this stage, I'm like, oh, I should write down my steps of this. Oh, hey, you know what? The stream is the steps. How about that? I'll be able to check this out next time. Yay. In the meantime, I have to struggle. Oh. I don't want to save it as a PNG. I don't want to save it as a PDF. I don't think I do. Yeah, I kind of wish I remember all of the versions of this that I've put together. macOS preview, print, documents, no. Info. macOS version. Oh, maybe it's the version? The macOS version that has changed it? 15.2 build ports, PDF context. Maybe they've changed something with their how they convert their files. How they compress their files. Okay. There might be some compression stuff happening here. Please for later. Okay. Shoot. I don't know. Hey, Sage, welcome. Welcome with all your friends in here. In here, out there, and everywhere. Sorry, that was my Colbert. Let's see. No, I want to export. Hey, yo, what's going on? Yeah, I was watching your stream. So I figured out. So normally, I've done this before where I've actually put you on my second screen and just kind of had you in the corner. I've been actually putting you on my phone and just letting that run in the background. This way you get an extra viewer in there and stuff like that and double up on all of that fun goodness too. But yeah. How you doing, my friend? That was cool. I got to drop by and watched you for a little bit yesterday too, which is fun. I had commentary to talk about with when you were punching the holes, but I was busy putting together some other stuff, so I was just like, I can't. Thanks, man, as always. Doing good. Had a successful day. Hole punching was an adventure. Low. What you got for me? I was thinking about it. When you were talking about trying to find a punch that does the 1 millimeter in between. I don't know if you solved it after I got done watching or not, but you took 2 different punches and you put them side by side, and you're like, oh no, that wouldn't work because that's 3 millimeters. But I was just like, well, I've seen a bunch of like leather workers and stuff like that have tools that do have that multi-punch that you're thinking about. And it may be one of those things you either have to do, you may have to do like your 2 end holes first, and then do a center hole, and then do your holes in between. That would make your spacing come out really nice, but you'd have to do that all manually, would be the kicker on that one. You'd be able to like make sure that all of your spacings and stuff like that, but it would mean that you would use your template for like the base points, the 2 ends in the middle, and then those little guys in between, you'd have to punch those ones individually, kind of thing. Kind of a pain in the ass, a little extra manual labor on that, but possible. The other thing I was thinking about is, if you can't get the 2 holes next to each other at that 1 millimeter, is there a tool that has a little bit more that can punch hole number 1 and hole number 3 in that process? This way you have then you could like daisy chain those together, kind of thing. Let me see if I can explain this correctly. We'll do a sample down here. This let's give myself a layer here. Circle. Okay. Say we have copy, paste. Because I think you have 5 holes, right? I think it's your setup is for 5 holes, 5 or 6 holes. Yeah, 6. Okay. 6. So we would want 1 more. Let me get rid of these guidelines so we can see what the heck we're talking about. Okay, so we can see the holes here on the screen, right? Kind of the idea. So if you could make a tool that could do, or take 2 of those punches that could punch these 2 holes together, then you could technically use those to punch these 2 holes, and then you could use this one to line up with this one to punch that one, and same thing here, use this one to line up to punch that one. So, and you were saying something like there was a 3 millimeter difference, which would be like the difference between, or maybe it was this one and this one. I don't remember which one, but yeah, then you could use one to be able to mark the second one, but you have to have an initial pilot hole for the like first 2, and then if you have the tool with the double punch or whatever, then you could move them along, kind of thing. Because I know like you were thinking, if they made a tool that did it like this, then you could punch 2, punch 2, punch 2, punch 2. You know what I mean? Like it would be 1 at a time. but that might be too thin for the type of tool that you want to use, that I might not be able to make that size. That's why I was thinking if you had one that was like this, because that would give you the two punches barrel wise next to each other. It would give you the same idea, but you'd be able to have a full punch rather than having to like grind down and JB weld a punch together kind of thing. You know what I mean? It might be easier to make one that you have to put spacers into rather than trying to grind something down to take space away from. If that makes any sense. I was just thinking about it. When you were talking about it, I was just like, oh, and when you showed me those two punches together, I was just like, well, that's exactly what you want to do. And they might actually fit. Like you could just tape them together or glue them together like that without having to grind or whatever, as long as it still makes up the difference between the first hole. This would be hole 1 and this would be hole 3. Then you could just daisy chain them however you want to. You literally just put this into focus. Well, I'm glad I can help. This is like 90% of my life is trying to find workarounds, like working construction, trying to understand, engineers' plans and having to redesign them and figure out interesting ways to build our own tools to complete certain aspects of these weird drawings that they've put together. Like this is stuff right up my alley is thinking about this kind of stuff. So like you don't want to make it, you don't want to have to make it harder than it is. Like there are some times where you're just like, well, I just got to do it this way. Like I just got to grind down this tool and do it because 1, I'm either short on time, or 2, like I literally can't think of a different way. And there's other times you have a little bit more wiggle room to play with some of that. So you never know. But I swear I've seen, they make leather punching tools for like wallets and stuff like that. That have multi-prong cutters on them. I know I've seen them. I don't know if those are handmade or not, though. They look production model versions. But I was just thinking about that as when you were talking about it, I was like, oh, because you could, like I said, then you could daisy chain these. As long as you had, A and B here at the beginning, these two. As long as you had those two, then everything else could be plop, 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 plop. Make them all nice and easy. This part of the process has become so crucial. The tolerance is so fine, 0.25 or 1 millimeters off, and it affects the structural integrity. Yeah. The other thought I was thinking about when you were talking about it, because you went to a thicker piece of leather and stuff like that, which is good. That'll give you more, what we call is more meat for the material to hold on to. Is there any type of reinforcing you can do to the leather, like some kind of glue or adhesive or something like that on the inside that would allow it to give it a little bit more strength, cohesion, whatever? Is there any type of processing that you can do to the leather to give it a little bit more rigidity too? And then the other part of that is making sure that your tools are like extremely sharp too, so that you can get those crisp, clean cuts too. Like I said, these are all things that I've had to deal with through engineering problems and stuff like that through construction. It's on a bigger scale, but it's the same ideas essentially. That the glue idea there may be something possibly there, but that will also only be on one side of the material. But why I mentioned that is when we're doing like fine woodwork and stuff like that, whether it be on cabinetry or internal work on a house for something, we need to be extra precise with our cuts and make sure that we don't have what they call tear out. Tear out is when you have a blade that is a little bit dull, and instead of cutting the material, it tends to like flick parts of it off or make it a little bit flaky, right? So it gives it an imprecise cut. Ways that you can deal with that is a sharper blade or a brand new blade. But even that, after you use the blade once, it's going to be a little bit dull. That's just the way it works. So the other way we combat part of that is we'll take actually a strip of either blue tape or green tape, that non-super sticky tape, and we'll put that onto the surface. And what that will do is that'll help give the plywoods or anything like that a little extra holding strength to not flick off and rather cut than fly off and chip and stuff like that. So the idea is semi-sound with that. It helps make the precision cut a little bit better. It's why why like carpenters and stuff like that will tell you, make sure if you're cutting on top of a surface or whatever, have some kind of sacrificial board underneath that you can cut through into, this way that the blade has a little bit further depth to be able to cut through. And that may be what the tape or glue might do for you in that circumstance, is it allows the punch to pass through farther, therefore making a cleaner cut. You never know. There's like a bunch of things that it could or couldn't do. Oh, I got a text message. I'm going to be thinking about this tonight. I'm not done with prototype 4, and I'm already thinking about 5. I think I'm seeing a bit of that today. There's definitely some small tearing as I'm looking at it now. This knowledge, it fills me. Good. Yeah, it's a thing. Like, the translation between a lot of these mediums is, I don't think people quite realize how similar they are. I know from my own experience and stuff like that, transitioning from construction projects to going back to doing smaller hand projects, art projects and stuff like that, using that knowledge, like making sure, like one of the projects I was doing where I was cutting out vinyl for my big LED panel that I was doing, I bought a box of 100 X-Acto blades, and I haven't used them all up yet, but I would like make big cuts and details, and then I would take that blade and toss it, because I knew it was getting damaged every time it was getting used, but I wanted to make sure that the cuts and everything were so crisp that I could, and I didn't want to have to worry about the cost or whatever. So it just was like, okay, 100 blades, that's no big deal. It's like $5 or whatever for that kind of thing. Then you can make sure that your cuts and everything like that are nice and crisp and clean too. So some of that, like, we in the construction industry, we have to factor that into what we call waste, which is a shitty term for making sure things, like, you're going to have tools and oh god, what is the word? It's for like X-Acto blades. Those are temporary objects that you buy that you use as much as you can, but they're going to be destroyed at some point. So it happens. Sometimes you have to invest in some of those things, even though you know they're going to go to, they're not going to last you forever. If you can find a tool that works better, that's great. But I think my other question for you, do you have a sharpening stone or a way to sharpen your punch at all? That would be the next question I have. I do not, and I'm writing that down to research tonight. Okay. Those, you also have to be careful with those as well, because you can do your own sharpenings with that. It just depends. You just have to make sure that you keep the angle that is already on the cutter consistent, and you have to make sure that you can actually, like, the blades can actually be sharpened too, I guess, is the first one. And making sure that it stays consistent. We would buy chisels all the time, and we would use them and then file them down, and then use them and file them down and use them. We'd basically file them down until they were just a handle is essentially what we would do. But like, that's an investment thing that you would have to do, and make sure that you were sharpening it correctly, and you have the correct, either some type of whetstone, or you can get a leather strop. Is that what it's called? Strop? That the strop is for the final polishing on a sharp blade and stuff like that. So, but you'd have to look into it to see how to sharpen a punch like that, because it is a rounded object. I'm not 100% sure whether or not that is how to do that. I've mostly dealt with like straight blades, not rounded curved blades. So that would be the only kicker on that one. Something to think about. But yeah, other than that, I think what you've got going on looks really good. I think everything else from there is just like processing stuff, and figuring out your methodology. Thank you for sharing, dude. Seriously, no problem. I do have one more thing for you before you run away from me. You were talking about a CNC machine, or I want to throw into the mix a laser. A laser has a possibility of being a good tool for that type of thing. You talked about whether or not using a tool like that then constitutes being handmade. And I'm gonna push back on you a little bit. I think it still does. I think what you're doing and how you're doing it by yourself and putting it together, I think all of that still constitutes handmade. It doesn't, the size of the tool doesn't matter. I think when the size of the tool and the mass production of something comes into play, that's the difference when things change. I think it's the mass production part. Otherwise, like, even with a CNC machine or a laser or something like that, you are still programming it, you're still designing it, you're still putting all of the things together. It may be doing the precision tooling, but it is still based off of the things that you are putting together, and your processes afterwards of doing it is not going to change, even though that tool has been introduced into the scenario. Because you could sit there and say, like, Tahoe, your books that you're putting together, those are not like handmade. You're doing it all on a computer and digitally and stuff like that. Like, you're not putting any pencil to paper at all anywhere. So technically what I'm doing is not handmade. So, but that's not necessarily true now either, right? So there's a little bit of conundrum in some of that. I know, like, there's a lot of conversations going on around that, especially with the in the sphere of like art, creativity, and then the introduction of artificial LLMs and stuff like that on this, into this commentary, whatever. But yeah, I think you're good. It is handmade, regardless of the tools that you use. You know what? That's fair. My first reaction didn't include a lot of back-end consideration, more a gut reaction. The argument to sound to me. No, and that's the thing. It's fair, I think maybe it has to, you have to determine what it means to you. I think coming from an art background, a lot of times we used to have to get up and talk about our works and talk about what it meant to us and how it played into what we were doing and things like that. And I think you as the artist, because this is an artwork, an art form that you are putting these books together and stuff with. If your art form is to be as low tech as possible, then that is the art form. If the art form includes technology of some sort, way, shape, form, or whatever like that, in your process of doing things, that's okay as well. If you, however you see it and it makes you feel and it comes out in your work, I think that's the important part of those things, and intention and stuff like that. I think that's where a lot of the commentary around this new technologies that we are seeing, the intention behind a lot of it is not so good, and it's actually making light of actual artists, real artists doing, I don't want to say actual, but people doing things by hand and creating in a different fashion. It's bringing, we've talked about this before, where the creative process that we as humans do is going to see a different type of value, because the process that we do, it can, and it's like, I've talked about this on this stream before, the way I use Illustrator compared to the way like my son uses Adobe Illustrator. He knows the tips, he knows the tricks, he knows the efficient ways to use it much better than I can. And I'm kind of stuck in some of the ways that I've done things in the past, like making certain radial spheres and stuff like that, and all of those things. But I'm okay with that, because that's my process that I know and I understand, and I don't need to do them the fastest, most efficient way. I just need to continue to do them the way that I know how, and that I'm okay with that. That's part of my process, part of my experience, part of me that is going into the work that I'm putting into it. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. Went off on a little diatribe there. You're doing great, my friend. Your artistic expression is hard, and we run across pitfalls and rocks in the road constantly. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm not saying anything, but I think I just wanted to help encourage you to create and be creative in whatever way, shape, form that looks like. Like you said, you've thought about it before and what this process means to you, and creating these books and stuff for other people, and maybe at some point there might be some more production things that come into that to do what you're doing. So you never know. That podcast episode right there, great combo we should be having across the board. All creatives. We really do. I remember the same conversations happening back in the day when people didn't think digital artists were real artists. When there was like, oh, you don't know how to put a pencil to paper and or ink on paper, or paint on a canvas, you're not a real artist, and all of those things. And it's like, now look at it, it's drastically different. All of this landscape continues to change and evolve and do different things, and I think it has to do with you as the individual, and like I said, intention and motivation and all of those different things, creativity. Like, I don't have to write books. There are lots of people that out there write books. You don't have to create your journals and stuff like that you're making your book binding and stuff like that, because there's tons of companies to do that. But it's something that you want to do. It's something that you have passion about, and you want to express that through that hard work and dedication. Like, you're doing a lot of work on this. You're doing a lot of studying and reading, and you're trying to be, you're doing the same thing that I'm doing, where you want a product that almost fools people into thinking it's mass production because of the quality and time and effort that you've put into it. And I think that's valuable. I think people are recognizing part of that now in our current sphere. So it's important. You're doing a good job. You're doing good work. You're right in the bubble with the rest of us trying to figure this shit out too. Yeah. There you go. There's my 2 cents. Thanks for the pickup. Anytime you need a pickup, you just drop by and be like, "Oh, I'm feeling shitty. Give me a pickup." Be like, "You got it, Sage. I gotcha." That goes for anybody. Anybody needs a pickup who's watching the stream or comes by and watching the stream. If you need a pickup, drop me a line. I don't care if it's in chat or if you go to tahoeanime.com and fill out the form and it just says, "Hey Tahoe, just give me some words of advice or words of wisdom or make me feel better." I will try my damnedest to try to do that for you. If I can. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Still reeling from a little bit of a head cold here, so I'm trying to catch my breath. Before I go, I'll DM you this weekend about scheduling a time, if that's cool with you. Yeah, for sure. Oh no, trust me, like when you were talking about it on stream yesterday, you got busy. Like, dude, I got busy too. Like, we both ended up with a whole bunch of stuff happening. I didn't even think I was going to have events starting this early in 2026, and I've already got one scheduled for the 22nd of this month. So it's like, oh shoot, cool things are happening fast too. So, and I got to get book 3 done. So shit. I've actually got some stuff filmed for our little project that we worked on as well. So I'm hopefully, I guess, refilmed. Yeah, refilmed it. But more conversations for later date at a different time. But especially since I'm almost done with my stream here. Which is actually a good spot. We're about 3 minutes out, give or take. Before you go, Sage, let me know, do you have anybody? I need some more people to follow to be able to throw around the raids here, because I would love to take everybody and raid somebody. If you've got anybody in mind or on your dashboard that you know of, let me know. I know I'm throwing you a monkey wrench right now to see, but thought I would throw that out there, see if you know anybody, because I would love to, because we've got quite a few people in here still. Anybody you would recommend, that's the word I was looking for. Aha. Then I gotta figure out, let's go ahead, let's actually swap over. Let's see, where's our assistant? Our assistant is not there, so we'll go to the outside camera for now. Bam. I'm gonna go check to see if he's in his little bed. Yeah, he switched spots on us. I'll be right back. There we go. I found him. Just had to move our camera around a little bit. Oh, okay. What a day. Lots of stuff happening. Lots of stuff went on today. Got our ISBN set up. We got some barcodes purchased for our price changes and for our new book here. Got a little bit of work. Got a little bit of stuff to figure out because I've messed something up here in the process that for my exports on these pages or on the cover here. So I gotta figure out something's off. I gotta work on, but yeah. In the meantime, we've got about 15 seconds here before our break time. Oh, looks like Patch is getting up. So we're gonna take a break for those 3 minutes of ads, and then we will come back. We'll wrap up our show, and then we will go from there. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I pressed the button twice. My character was like, well, he didn't know what to do. Oh, okay. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Let me double check a couple things. That. Okay, cool. Should be all good then. Go back over here for the moment. All right, peoples, that is it for me for the day. we got a lot of stuff done. I know I went over it a little bit before we went to our break time here. Yeah, lots of progress today. Got our ISBN put together, got our barcodes purchased today. Kind of showed you guys the process of what it looks like going through the Boker website, all of the information you need to be able to put in for your books and stuff when registering your ISBN with your titles, and the time, not necessarily the delay, but the time it takes to get it approved and looked at and stuff like that, changes, things like that have to happen, all of those things, all those little pieces and stuff today, hopefully leading us onwards to getting our covers updated for books 1 and 2, so we can do that price change over on Ingram Spark. As much as I would love to be able to hold off until Monday to do the rest of it, since I made those changes on Boker's website with the ISBNs and the barcodes, I think I have to move a little bit quicker to get the files updated for Ingram Spark on the new price changes. So I'm probably going to have to work on those the rest of whatever time I have left for today before I have to go do other stuff, and then into this weekend. So like between today, the rest of today and tomorrow, I need to get those files done and ready and uploaded. So I will not be able to show you some of that process. Monday, I might be able to go through and talk about that. So maybe this is what it will be. I won't be able to do it for books 1 and 2, but I may be able to show you the process going forward on Ingram Spark over for book number 3, because that one hasn't been started yet. And that one has a publication date that's later down the road. So I think we're okay. I think I can show that process so you can see, compare, and contrast against your own experience with that program and go from there, kind of thing. So hopefully that'll be helpful with that. Yeah, I think that's the plan at the moment. Other than that, if you would like to come by, we have I do a Dungeon Protocols gaming night on our Dungeon Protocols Twitch channel. It's usually on Saturday nights, late in the evening. It's like 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time. It's a late one. We play Destiny on there just constantly. It's just another thing that I go and do and put together for a little bit of show. It's an option for you to drop by and say hi if you'd like to. The other thing that we are doing is on Sunday, Dreamer and I, which is Mrs. Tahoe, we sit down and we do a podcast episode right here on this channel. It's called 500 Little Things. We sit and talk about all kinds of different topics, whether it be family, life, things that are changing around us, different topics. I believe the one we are talking about on Sunday is social media, sending each other, we send each other reels all the time. And so I think we're going to talk about some of our favorite reels that we've sent each other over the years. And we'll literally be sitting in a room together. We'll send each other funny memes and funny reels that we see. So I think we're going to talk about those, and I don't know if we'll be able to show any of them. No, it's a possibility. I have to see whether or not I can figure that out and make it work. But anyways, that is the plan. We talk about this stuff. It's interactive. If you want to come in and chat and say hi or tell us some of your favorite social media memes / reels, shorts, whatever, any of those versions of stuff, let us know. That'd be fun. We like to share and see what other people think is funny in that way. But other than that, I will be back on Monday for more art stuff. Yeah, continuing forward as we move towards more events for the year, getting publishing done for book number 3, and more. Like there's so much more. I have so much to figure out and understand about all of this. So yeah, if this has been fun and interesting and you want to continue seeing the journey as I flounder and fumble my way through this process, please come back. I appreciate it. So thank you everybody for coming by. Thank you, Sage, for bringing all of your people from your stream over here. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Always a good time talking to you constantly. So I wouldn't mind that at all. Thank you, Bryce, for being in here. Thank you, Sunny Ruth, for being in here. Thank you, Dreamer, for coming by and saying hi. Who else was in here? I think B-Shack. Oh yeah, B-Shack was here. Thank you, B-Shack. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Who else is in here? Maggot Cheese, One Hot Ginger, Stevie, and UCAS Rage. I don't know how to say that, but it says that these people are here. Hello. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming over from Sage's stream. I appreciate you. If you stream at all and you happen to be on around this time, please let me know so that I can, if it's possible, at all possible, send this raiding party over to your channel. Either message me or follow me, and I will probably follow you back and just be like, hey, I came from Sage's stream, and yeah, we'll do all that stuff. We'll figure it out. But yeah, other than that, have a wonderful rest of your Friday afternoon, and have a good weekend. Go chill out. Maybe go for a walk outside, get some fresh air. I definitely need some fresh air. My nose is all clogged up. I sound funny. Anyways, yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.